everybody. How are ya? I hope you guys are doing good. Hi, Carrie. Hi, Elaine. Hi, Ash. Hi, Susan. Hi, Brenda. Hi, other Susan. Hi, everybody. Oh, I'm happy to see you guys here on a Friday. Tell me what's going on in your world. I've got a mess on my desk. Let me clean up my desk. So, what we're going to do today is we're going to make some greeting cards out of junk mail. So, I got a good mess going on here. So, tell me what's going on in your world. I want to know, everyone. I want to know. Get your junk mail. Hi, Lynn. Hi, Cassandra. Get your junk mail and paint. And if you're wondering what kind of junk mail, this kind of junk mail. You can do it with, sorry, my desk is so messy. You can do it with, hi, Ann. You can do it with some magazine inserts as well. It just needs to be heavier weight. So how is it? You're working on Christmas ornaments? Awesome, Brenda. Did you get your computer stuff fixed, Brenda? Hi, Bet. So it has been a lovely rainy day here. I saw that rack you got. Carrie's saying she got a random act of kindness from Ash, and she loved it, and she made a bunch of junk mail flowers. Hi, Valerie. Carla, hey Carla. Carla's finishing her Mickey book. That Mickey book is very impressive, by the way, I have to say. For those of you that are just joining us, we're going to make some greeting cards, and I'm sort of focused on Christmas, but you can make them, they can be for anything. And we're going to make out of your junk mail. So you can make them out of heavy duty junk mail flyers if you want. I'm making mine out of postcards. I've made them out of everything, you guys. As long as it's like a heavier weight. You know how like you get some, I think last year I made a ton of them out of the catalogs. Hi, Trish. Hi, Dee. I'm just having a couple sips of tea, girls. I think last year I made them out of cell phone flyers. So anyway, so get your junk mail. That's the first thing. And then you're going to need some acrylic paint. And you know me, I buy the really super cheap acrylic paint, but you guys can use any acrylic paint you have. So I think I've painted a bunch already that are in red. So I think what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to paint this one a different color just so that I have another option. So I have a different option of junk mail card to work from. Now, I make every card that I send, you guys. Now, let me preface this by saying I'm not a fabulous card maker, so I don't want one of you out there that has all these dies, that does amazing card making to like say, oh, well, she makes all of her cards. I'm not that kind of a card maker, okay? I'm just a handmade card maker. So mine are not going to be like really beautiful, like, with layers of, hi, Heather. Oh, well, welcome. We're happy you're here. Hi, Fee. Hi, Sharon. And if you guys want to chat with me, I want to chat with all of you. Please put it in all caps just because sometimes the chat scrolls by so fast I miss it. So back to my rant on cards. So I don't want you guys to mistaken me for a fabulous card maker. Like, there are people out there that make like amazing greeting cards, that make just really beautiful, beautiful greeting cards. That's not the kind of card I'm making. Well, I think they're beautiful, but they're not, it's not what my style. My style's like more eclectic, more funky and out there, right? So I don't want you to think that, it's going to be, mine is going to be like perfect or whatever. I don't want you to be under that assumption. And I also don't want you to be under the assumption that they're going to be like, you see people with card dies. Now you could do this same method and use all those card dies if you want. Oh, thanks. Thanks, Ash. Thanks for putting the link in the group. So, if I haven't said hi to you, just shout it out to me. Just I missed it. Valerie's saying her former boss had a sign that said, "A clean desk is a sign of a sick mind." You guys, I always attempt to craft neat. It just never works out that way. Okay, you're monitoring. Thanks, Diana. And did you see? Diana says she's monitoring Facebook. So, and I know that's because a lot of people. If you haven't joined our Facebook group, please feel free to go on over. It's for any type of crafting. It is not just for paper crafting, just because that's my tangent right now. Diana, also look on there. Scotty showed a way. Somebody was asking, how do you chat with your iPad and with your phone? And Scotty posted in the question how to do it. So I don't, if you wanted to cut and paste that for somebody, you might be able to too. Hi, Mary. Mary, you can make these cards out of anything. Okay, so if you have magazine pages, you can even make it out of cardstock. I'm not telling you. I just like to use my junk mail. Okay, so the first thing that you need to do is get your junk mail out, and then I use really cheap. If you have gesso, you can gesso it. I use really cheap craft paint to paint the backgrounds of mine, just because that's what I have. Okay. So you can decide what colors you want to do. I'm going to go ahead and finish painting these. I'm going to paint these out with inexpensive off-white craft paint, not, or gesso, either one. You don't have to have, some people don't have gesso, and that's okay. Let me just grab my paint palette. You know me, I use my can lids. Hi, Lisa! I use my plastic coffee can lids for my paint palettes, and so that's my exciting paint palette. Hi, Sarita. So the kids I think the dog is outside playing with the kids, so I don't think she'll bark today, but you never know. They may bring her back because they get tired of it. So get your junk mail out, and the first thing you need to do is put on some sort of base coat. I'm going to use really cheap, it's called, the color's Vanilla Ice Cream, in case anybody wants to know, really cheap craft paint. And you want to paint both sides. So have you guys had a good week? I've had a fairly decent week. It was raining really bad earlier today, so they didn't come to do the stuff for our electric, because the guy has to get on the roof, and Valerie knows when it rains here, sometimes the winds get really high and they'll just come out of nowhere, so they don't get on the roof if it's sort of windy. It finally stopped, and so the kids are all outside playing. I mean, it's still overcast and could start raining again, but we need the rain, so that's what's going on with us. Hi, Michelle. Hello, ladies. If you guys haven't gone over to Michelle Scott's YouTube channel, she does a beautiful shabby chic. She does lots of different stuff and gives you lots of DIY tips, but shabby chic is her thing. So get to painting your junk mail. What's cool about this, ladies, if you have never made your cards out of junk mail, is I make sometimes what I call card blanks. So I'll have just made them, made bits and pieces for cards, and then later on, add the finishing touches. Yeah, thanks for coming by. We hope you have a great weekend, and if you want to see us again, we're always here on Tuesday. Or you can come Tuesdays and Fridays, or you can come over to join our Facebook group and chat with us there. But we're happy you dropped by. So just make sure that you let it dry between coats, and you may have to go over the darker part a little bit more than... You may have to go to the darker part and cover over the little a couple of times. Anyway, back to my tangent of thought. You guys, I can't hold a thought today. I don't know why. It's ridiculous. So, if you decide that you want to make handmade greeting cards out of your junk mail, you can do it in stages. Like sometimes I'll just get all of my junk mail together and I'll just paint all the junk mail. Paint it however and give it a base coat of whatever off-white or whatever color I'm going to do. And then I just store it, so unless I, want to make all of them right then, or sometimes I fold them. Now I'm also going to show you guys how to make an envelope to go with whatever card you make. So, you finished your Christmas junk journal? Oh, congratulations, Mary. That's awesome. Hi, Edna. So can you guys believe how many members we have in our Facebook group? We've only had it a month and now it's crazy. Oh, oh, Michelle was leaving, not you, Ash. Oh, okay. Well, we're happy you're staying. We're happy you're staying around. Hey, Lisa. So just start painting your junk mail, and you guys know me. I use the cheapest craft paint ever. I like the cheap matte one because if I want to add like glitter or gloss in an acrylic overcoat, I can. Carrie, it's okay. You know what? You can make it out of anything. It doesn't have to be, if you have you can do the same thing with scrapbook paper, you guys. My obsession with junk mail does not have to be your obsession. It's not that I'm obsessed with it. It's just that at some point in time, you just end up with so much of it that it just seems like to be a waste in my world. And when I make tags for my junk journals, or I make pockets, or I've made all kinds of things out of these postcards, these big postcards. I'm just gonna let it dry, and I may have to do a little bit more on this. But you can do all of this. You can do all of this with, hey Scotty! You can do all of this with scrapbooking paper too, you guys. You don't, just because I have an obsession with junk mail does not mean that you need to. That's my own thing. I often make the background or the base out of a piece of junk mail and then use some scrapbooking paper on top. You could do that too. I just don't have any scrapbooking paper on my table here, so it'll be a little hard to do that. I'm going to go ahead and paint the other side too. We're happy you're here, Scotty. I love junk mail too, Lisa. I love junk mail. I have magazine pages. I like I am the queen of getting discarded books or books that they're going to throw away, or I agree with you, Anna, it's free. So basically, with the exception of the paint that you're going to use on this card, the paint and the glue, it's free. And if you're a crafter, paint and glue stuff you already have, right? So, has everybody had a good week? I'm still tackling my calamari, as you guys know, my craft room. I haven't been able to get it totally back. I'm not totally back in. Most of the stuff is still in the garage. But what I have done, which I was really proud of myself, is I've gone through some of the boxes in the garage and, continued sorting and doing that. Continued sorting. So that is what I have been doing. Sorting my stuff, putting it in boxes. I've been sorting it by paper crafting, then I've beading, that sort of stuff, fabric. And then, some of it I've done a little bit more extensive sorting and stuff like that. Thanks, Mary Kay. You know, I really like using junk mail. I try to use as much recycled. I try to use as many things as I can to recycle in my artwork. But there are some things like I don't use recycled paint. I mean, I guess I could go down to where they recycle house paint and get some leftovers, but I don't do that. And I don't, and I do buy glue. Hi, Danina. Oh, Danina will be here soon. I saw the big capitals, Danina. So awesome. Hi, Laura. How are you? Welcome. We're happy you're here. Lisa, you're sitting in the backyard having a glass of wine. That sounds nice. I'm having a cup of tea and painting some junk mail. Where do you live? Hey, you guys, shout out and tell everybody where you live. Hi, Grace. Carrie, you know what? I just do it until it's covered. You know, I mean, usually the base coat, only one, unless it's got, see how this one has like a dark rim on it right here? This is going to show through. It doesn't really matter. You know what? People that get cards from me know that they're made, and I write on there. I write on the back of my cards. I write, you know, made out of completely recycled material or stuff like that. So then after you've done your painting of your junk mail card, the base coat, paint away. I may go back and paint a little bit more on that. Then you just need to decide what color you're going to do your cards. Now I've got a few painted red for a couple of Christmas themed ones. So I think I'm going to do these a different color. I was thinking I kind of wanted to do a tropical-y colored themed card. So I was thinking I might do some green and blue on this one. Fiona is from Sydney, and it's 11 in the morning there on Saturday morning. That's awesome. And Grace is from Oregon. Klamath Falls, awesome. And Brenda's from Indiana. And Mary Kay is from Tacoma. And hi, Kimmy, welcome. And you're from New York. Where are you from in New York, Kimmy? I live in Hawaii now, but I lived in New York. And Laura, you're from Cameron Park, California. Awesome. Grace and Mary Kay are in your neck of the woods, Ash. You're from Texas too, Heather? Awesome. Well, welcome from Texas. I was born and raised in Texas, but I live in Hawaii. I live in Maui, Hawaii. But before I moved to Maui, I lived in New York City. So, Houston, awesome. Colorado Springs, Buffalo. Ooh, nice and cold there, Kimmy. In Buffalo, well, it's warm for the summer, right? But Buffalo is nice. So, you guys can find your crafty best friends. You know, we were talking about it. And then I think in our last live stream, was it you, Susan, that found one of your childhood friends that came on the chat that you hadn't talked to in years? Which I think is awesome. So I'm just getting random colors of blue for this. Okay? And I may use a different brush. The thing you do want to know when you're painting your junk mail, and I think it's true of painting any sort of paper that is, you know, that's not regular art paper, is you want to make sure you're not really wet painting, you're dry brushing. South Africa, Sarita's from South Africa. And so is Marcy. I don't know if Marcy's here, but Marcy and Sarita are from South Africa, which I think is so awesome. So I'm just going to start painting my junk mail. I'm going to paint, this is going to be the base coat of this card. Okay, so that's why I say to you guys, I do it in stages. I paint my junk mail in stages and then leave it. What are you guys talking about? Bird poop? I miss all the good stuff. Susan, you're terrible. So you can paint your junk mail. You know, if you have a jelly plate, and you guys know how much I love my jelly plate, you can use that too. But I like for the base coat, because the junk mail is heavier, I like it to be thicker. And sometimes with the jelly plate you can't get, although you can jelly print them, I have, sometimes you can't get a whole coverage. You can. You have to just do multiple layers. Oh, don't worry about it, Ash. I'm lost too. Hi, Kat. Yay, we're happy you're here. We're happy you're here. So have you guys, all those that have joined it for our Facebook group, and please, feel free to join if you haven't. Everyone is welcome. I added a poll on there that asks you what you would like, what's on your crafty bucket list. Because there's so many things on my crafty bucket list that, I just wanted to see if any of you guys had some similar likes or dislikes of what's on your crafty bucket list. And then I thought maybe we could make some of those things together. I love how some of you put more time to craft. Well, that we can't. That, if you come over to a live stream, you're making for yourself. Susan, you are hilarious. You are just ridiculously hilarious. Oh my gosh. You are hilarious. So, you're going to hear all the kids outside because now they're all standing out there. I'm just going to do a quick heat gun alert. Mary Kay, a crafty bucket list is like your wish list. Like the things like, people make a bucket list of things they'd like to do. Like a list of, so a crafty bucket list is things in the craft world that you'd like to do. Things that you would, love to do. Well, just go over and add it. Yes, I have this industrial gun. You guys, were you not on one of my live streams when I talked about it? So I asked Hottie he asked me what I wanted. I don't remember the holiday now, you guys. It could have been Mother's Day. It could have been Christmas. And I said I wanted a new heat gun because mine had died. And this is what he bought me. Okay, you guys, this is an industrial strength heat gun, and it will like peel paint off of the walls. Okay, it has like a temperature gauge. It goes up to like 1100 degrees. Okay, this is when you when you ask a man to get you a gift. So this is mine. Okay, it works really well, but you just have to make sure that I have it turned down really low because it can get really hot. There you go. And it's a digital heat gun at that. Okay. No, it's like power tools. Guys in power tools. So I'm going to paint the other side. I'm doing mine the same color. You don't have to. Now, this is a great way to use up your napkin bits, too. If you guys do napkin decoupage, you can use that for your cards, too. You can, it's really about having fun. Carrie, this would be the perfect thing for you to make for your wives' packages. Because you don't have to make them as big as the junk mail is. I cut mine down, but you could make a ton. You can also make really cool journaling charms with, journaling tags with this junk mail too. I know, right, Diana? It's ridiculous. It's like, what? I should just be grateful they bought me one, right? Usually I just get my own stuff and tell them that they got it for me. Diana, can you go over to Facebook and see and count how many entries there are? Because in case anybody entered at the last minute for the giveaway. If you want to go over, you have 5 minutes to still enter for the giveaway. If you want to go over to the Facebook group and join in, you just have to post a picture of what you're working on, what's on your crafty table. So that's all. Some of the things you ladies posted is amazing. So, this is a great way to use up your also too, if you paint other projects, if you have these hanging out. You know, Carrie, now that you found us, I think that you should definitely like do as many recycled projects as possible, seeing as you're sending all that stuff. Hi, Melanie. We'll go over and enter, Mary Kay. You still have 5 minutes. Okay, well, we're not quite ready. We have 5 minutes until it's over. Go over and enter. You can pick one thing. You can pick anything. You know, it's not... It's really just about having fun. Now, this can be a little fiddly. You guys know me and my love for fiddly things. Okay, so I think I have... How many of you guys are making along with me? Who's making along? Yes, I saw the Bucket List movie with Morgan Freeman. I love him. I love Morgan Freeman. You're going to make bookmarks too, Carrie? You know what? You're going to find that you're, you know, pretty soon, once you start crafting or just start doing stuff with your junk mail, it changes the way you look at your craft supplies. It changes the way you buy craft supplies too. At least it does for me. You know, because before, you know, you might want to spend a lot of money on maybe some some scrapbooking paper, and I still do buy scrapbooking paper, don't get me wrong, but I don't spend a ton of money on it, and I only buy what I really, really, really love, whereas before I might feel more inclined to buy things that, not that I didn't love, but that were, you know what I mean. You get caught up in it. So now I just make as much of it as I can out of junk mail. And the rest of it is... You're making decorated paper clips? Awesome, Laura. That's awesome. You guys know me and my love for that. I was going to show you, I diamond glazed a whole bunch of them, but I put them in a bag. I was cleaning off my desk, and if I find the bag before we enter our... If we find the bag before the end of the live stream, I'll show you if I find it. Because I had to clean off my desk. It was bad. I think some of them came out really good from the ones that we made out of the magazine pages, or the ones I made last live stream. Oh, your hubby is die cutting card bases for you? Oh my gosh. Sarita, what a sweet husband you have. What a sweet, sweet husband you have. What a sweet husband. So if you guys go over there and sign up on the, go over and look at the crafty wish list or crafty bucket list. I'm going to start doing some projects from that. So if you have something you really want to do, I mean, there are some things I can't do here, but for the most part, whatever I've seen so far, I can most likely do. So Carrie, if you're not afraid of them knowing that you use junk mail, I wouldn't worry about whether you've covered up everything or not if you're painting it. That's just me. You know, you could also use this as a base and then go back and use your serendipity paper. Okay, well, give it 33 people as of right now have signed up, and that's it. So it's now 3:30. So Ash, will you want to put the number 33 in there, and then tell us what number random.org picks? Thanks, Carrie. You know, it's just cheap paint. Now, this is one project I definitely use Mod Podge on. Hi, Luana! You didn't miss anything. We're just painting our junk mail. I'm sorry, what did I miss, Laura? You were asking me about the paper clips and I missed it. Can you type it? Okay, let's see. Because I'm sorry. Hi, Lana. You're going to make magazine page corner bookmarks? Awesome. Who is Lucky 23? So, Diana, can you tell us who entry 23 was? So, Pat Alonso Hernandez was number 23. So, can one of you guys post in a separate thing? Because I'm going to delete the... I'm going to delete the contest. Not because I don't want to have all your stuff there, but what happens is that somebody will comment on an older contest, and then the contest will be over, and it just gets pushed to the top of the Facebook feed, and then it gets people confused. Okay, Laura's saying she's having a hard time making the slits. When you put the short side of the paper clip in, it got wonky. You know what it is? I don't think I have a mat knife. Laura, you made your slit too big. If you make the slit a little smaller so that the tension's in there, if the slit's too big... Oh, I don't have anything here. I cleaned off my desk. See, this is what happens. I clean off my desk. I promise on Tuesday I'll show you. When you make the slit too big, what happens is the paper clip can move. But when you make the slit just slightly smaller than the paper clip, when you push the paper clip through, it won't get wonky. Does that make sense? Congratulations, Pat. Yeah, somebody please post it in the on the regular Facebook. Post who won, and make sure that your name is Pat. Make sure you are on your addresses in the Random Act of Kindness, the rack list, because if your address isn't there, I can't send it to you. Okay? And thanks for all you guys. Jennifer has been sending out racks like crazy, and I think that's awesome. I hope some of you ladies will reciprocate and send her something back in return. No, I just put it through the back. I don't put it through the decorative paper. It's sandwiched between two. You know, I don't even have one here. If you give me a few minutes, in a few minutes, I'll see if I can find the paper clips. I had them all on my desk last night, and I cleaned it all up, and I moved it. I don't know where I put it. It's not close by. Let me see if I can find it. If I can, I'll show you. No, it's sandwiched between two pieces. You know what? Let me finish painting this side, and I'll see if I have a piece of something to make one with, and I'll do it with you really quick. How's that sound? You only put it on the back. The paper clip is only on the back piece. The decorative piece is separate. That's why I said it's fun to make paper clip blanks. If you can just do it with the front and the back already together, the two pieces together, then you can glue whatever you want on the front of it. You know. That's your problem because you're trying to put it through both of them? Oh no, only through the back. I'm sorry, I don't have one here. I promise I'll show you in just a few minutes. I'll find one and I'll find something to make one with because I'm sure I have a paper clip on my desk. So how many of you guys are making greeting cards with me? Or is it just me on my own? Am I just on my own tonight making my own? Making my own. Are you arting along? Is anyone arting along? You don't have to be making what I'm making. You can make whatever you want to make. Thanks, Ash. Am I arting alone? Or are you girls arting? Now, lurkers, I see you out there. Just come on over and say hi. Come on over and say hi. Come on over and say hi. We won't we know you're here. We can't see your face, so you can just say hi. All you lurkers out there. So after you've painted both sides of your junk mail, let it dry, because it's going to be, you're definitely going to need, you're going to have to paint, you're going to have to do a glue layer too, or a Mod Podge layer. Laura says she's putting magazine pages on my junk mail. Okay. You're putting magazine pages on it. So great. The magazine page, that sounds awesome. And Kat says she's coloring some stamped images, and Mary Kay's arting, and Deb's arting, but she says not cards yet. Well, this is just to give you an idea. Now, if you guys have your old Christmas cards from last year, we can do a thing on making new Christmas cards with that, but I'm just making them out of junk mail today. Now, what I like to add to mine, and you guys can think about adding it to yours, is I'm in love with metallic paint. Are any of you guys in love with metallic paint? And I have a few different kinds. Like I have these folk art metallic paints that I like. Then I also have this Liquitex pearlized iridescent white paint. These are all cheap. This one, it says it was $11, but I got it on clearance for 70% off, so you can 75% off, so it wasn't that expensive. I like metallic paint a lot, Luana. I really do. I have like a thing for metallic paints, so I love some metallic paint too. So what I do at this stage is I add some metallic paint to the pieces too, just because I like a little shine. You don't have to add it to yours, and I don't add it like it's just gonna add a layer of shimmer and shine. I like metallic paint. I have like an issue with metallic paint. I think metallic paint is my thing. Or if you have some if you had some of that mica eyeshadow and you wanted to Mod Podge and put some mica eyeshadow on there, you can too. So this is what I do next in my next step. I add just some, and I don't paint the whole thing. This one's just like a white pearlized paint, but I add some shimmer and shine to mine. That's what I do. And I don't paint the whole thing, just, and you can decide whether you want to do front and back or you just want to do one side. It doesn't matter. So that's what I'm going to do right now. I'm going to add to my blue and my blue cards some pearlized paint, some metallic pearlized paint. You're stamping instant oatmeal packets, Scotty? Oh, I love that. Good for you. Those make great junk journal pockets. You know what? You could also use those inside your cards too, Scotty. I make these cards and then I sometimes put tea bags in them. You know, like if I'm going to send somebody some tea, I put some tea bags in them. You know, so right now I'm just going to add some pearlized paint to it. Let it dry. I may need my heat gun. I'm going to read your comments while I'm waiting here. Hi, Amanda. How are you? You're lurking and making some embellishments. Well, we're glad you're lurking and making embellishments. You guys, I like to lurk too, but it's always nice to say hi. It's always nice to say, hey, how's it going? And I hit it with my heat gun, then I'm going to do the other side. Oh my God, Luana, you're hilarious. You like metallic paint too, Melanie? I do too. You guys are so funny. I'm sorry you have a headache, Luana. I woke up with one this morning. I think it's because it was raining. I'll tell you guys a funny ibuprofen story. So I have such a sensitive system. I really can't take much of anything. But the one thing that I do occasionally take is ibuprofen. And one day I had a really bad headache, and I don't know what we were doing, but we were busy doing something. And I asked my youngest daughter, you guys know she's 10, right? I asked her, I said, hey, can you get me some ibuprofen? I just said to her, I don't know where she was, somewhere else in the house. I don't even remember what we were doing. And I was in the middle of doing something with my older daughter, and I wasn't really paying that much of attention except that I had a headache. Time had passed. Maybe I was cooking. I don't even know. A long period of time passed, and I see my daughter. She's wandering around, and she's looking in all the cabinets, and she's looking, and then she's like stopping, and I had forgotten all about it. And I asked her, I said, what are you doing? I said, what are you looking for? And she goes, I'm looking for Ivan Pofin. She goes, but I don't even know who he is. So she was looking for Ivan Pofin. Okay? So needless to say, in our house, it is called Ivan Pofin. Okay? It is called Ivan Pofin. Now, this must have been when she was about, I don't know, she was younger than 10. She was about 8 or 9. So she was looking for Ivan Pofin, and she didn't even know who he is. I know, right, kids? So let's just say, in my house, it's called Ivan Pofin. She knows what ibuprofen is now, but she was younger then. Okay, so I know, it's like ridiculous. My whole life is ridiculous. You guys know that. You know that about me, how ridiculous my life is. Okay. So I have my metallic paint. I'm going to need this later for my Mod Podge, but I'm not doing that right now. So let me clean. I know, right? Ivan Pofin. So ridiculous. She does all kinds of stuff like that. She has, in our house, when she was little, she used to call a sandwich a shranget. Don't ask me where that came from. So, of course, everybody calls it a shranget. And my older kids, they still call it a shranget, and she's 10 now. She must have, little, she called it a shranget. So, of course, when anybody's making a sandwich, they say, I'm making shrangets. Anybody want any? So I have all these. I didn't gesso my junk mail. I painted it with white paint. Oh, I didn't paint this one. Oh, well. So you can still see. This one is just the first step. That one, I just painted it with like cheap acrylic white paint. Okay. Now, this can make multiple cards. Alright. It can make one big one. Still a little tacky. It can make one big one, or it can make multiple cards. Let me just show you. So like, here's one. Here's a piece of junk mail that I already cut down. Let's see. And here's another one. Okay. These are just junk mail painted. So you just need to decide how big you want your card. Sometimes, so if you wanted to use the whole piece, you can. That would make a really nice size card. Or you could cut it in half. And I think this one must be a piece that's cut in. This one's a little longer. So let me just show you what I did next. So I took, let me find one. I have one over here I started working on as my Christmas cards. Okay, so this was my Christmas tree. I just wanted to show you don't have to be really artistic, okay? So after I painted my metallic, I don't know what piece of junk mail this was, but it was one, okay? It was some postcard. So I folded up a bottom because I'm making a pocket in mine, all right? The red is like all these different shades of the cheapest red craft paint mixed together with some sort of metallic, okay? So if you want it to hold something, you want to fold up a little bit from the bottom and then fold it in half. But then you want to glue the sides of your card. Let me see if I have. I need some glue. You want to glue, and you do want to use a permanent, thick, heavy glue, okay? Because otherwise, if you put heavy things in your card, it'll come out. Grace the Red is like super cheap. It was like, I don't know, 4 or 5 shades of the 50-cent paint. I just put it all, like you just saw me do the blue and green. I just put it all on my coffee lid and painted. I'm sorry guys, I'm waiting for the glue to come out. If it ever comes out. But it just gives you some ideas of like what you can do. I mean, this is not, you can make any type of card out of this, and you can use your stamps. For those of you that are big time stampers or have stamps, you know, you can use your stamps in this. You can do it in a bunch of different ways, but what I find fun about it is that I can make a bunch of cards at one time, or a bunch of card blanks at one time, and then I can go back and add my whatever I'm going to add to it. Does that make sense? So if you fold it up, you want to glue this side down. You want to glue the sides down, and I usually put it on the shorter side and just add some glue on both sides. Wet glue. And then you get your paper clips to hold it together while it dries. Okay, and it usually dries fairly quickly. But you do want to glue it down. Now this is when you can include a tea bag or those Christmas ornaments that we made, right? Those Christmas ornaments that we made. We made, I don't know, last week, week before. I don't know when we actually, I can't remember. The days all run together here for me. So, let me get some paper clips out here, and then, what are you guys writing? Paint or gesso, it doesn't matter. You guys, gesso can be like $8 a bottle. And for somebody who's just starting out in crafting, that could even maybe be your whole craft budget, when you can buy that really inexpensive apple barrel flat white or off-white paint for 50 cents a bottle at a big box store. So I'm all for getting what you know, doing what's within your budget. You know, quite frankly, when you're painting on junk mail and stuff like that, it really doesn't matter if you don't use gesso. You know, gesso's meant to prime. Gesso's meant so that your surfaces are not porous. Okay? The only time it matters, it isn't really cheap to make gesso because you need marble dust. And unless you're going to buy some marble dust, or, you know, you still need the same white paint. You still need the same white paint, Luana. So why not just use the white paint? You guys, gesso is meant to use on a porous surface like a canvas, so that the paint that you add onto it later on does not soak through. Okay? It's a primer. So that it doesn't soak through. Now, when you're doing stuff on paper, if you don't want it, say you painted a bunch of something and you don't want to cover up the next part, or you put book pages down and you wanted to still see the book pages through the layer of your next coat of paint, use clear gesso. That works really good too. Or a matte medium does too. So, I don't know. You guys know me. I just think for a crafter though, especially if you're new to crafting, you know, you don't need to spend all that extra money if you don't want to. Okay, so I had decided that I was going to put a Christmas tree on one of these, and I just tore it out of book pages. The only thing you might want to make sure of is that the words are not risque. I mean, I think the ones that I've cut out are, but it doesn't really matter because I'm just going to send it to myself. No, I don't know who I'm going to give it to. Anyway, so just, if you're going to do it, you can just put your glue on the back of your paper. You could also use Mod Podge and put it over it. And then just start laying down your, this is just for a Christmas theme. You guys could do anything. If you had your stamps, you could stamp on it. If you had some tissue paper, I'm going to show you the cheater way for people that don't know how to draw or think that their drawing is bad. You know, just, or maybe you want risque book pages. I don't know. You know me and my risque stuff. It happens. So, I just don't want you to think, if you wanted to try and do this, I don't want you to think that you have to go out and spend a lot of money. If you have some cheap acrylic paint and some junk mail and some glue and some sort of book pages, go for it. It's going to be great. It is going to be great. Thanks, Luana. It's just cheap paint. I'm telling you, it's just like the cheapest paint possible. It's like 4 shades of red and then the cheap metallic paint, which I think the metallic paint is what, $1.50 or $2 a bottle? I don't know. I don't buy it that often, so I'm just showing you that you can make it out of anything, and I don't want you to think that you have to go and spend a lot of money, because I think, don't you think sometimes you don't do stuff because you think it's going to cost you an arm and a leg and 2 teeth to do it? Okay, this is the beginning of our Christmas card, of that one, right? And I'll show you a couple of other ones that I did, and then I'm going to finish them. So these are some ones that I did a while back. These are made the same way, right? It's the same junk mail. And what I did was I drew with a micron marker. I was doing some tea cards. It's like the easiest treat possible, Carrie. Can you imagine doing this? And then I'll show you how to make an envelope for it. And we'll put one of those ornaments inside of it. This one I used tissue paper, and I drew with a micron marker. You do need a permanent marker, a thin permanent marker. I drew the teacups and the teapot, and then I tore it out and glued it on. And then inside I put one of my book pages, like one of my book page pockets that I had decorated, so that I could put some tea or whatever inside of it, right? And then send it in an envelope. I did use some Mod Podge over the top of this one. You can see it has like a shine to it. I did this one the same way. I drew stars on tissue paper. Did it the same way. Made my little library pockets. You could also put these as inserts for your junk journals too. You know? And the same thing, right? And then here's one that I made. I made some cute ones last year, but I thought I had some, but I don't really. I must have given them all away. This one, the same way. I just used a stencil and I painted on top with the white craft paint. And then I had drawn on tissue paper some... You appreciate that I'm cost conscious? Is that a kind way of saying cheap, Ash? So, you know, and then it has the pocket inside. And then, you know, so I just wanted to give you some ideas of what you guys can do, you know, for your own. And because we made those Christmas ornaments, right? I think it's dry now. Because we made those Christmas ornaments last week. Now, I just want to show you, like, look, we made those Christmas ornaments. And look, you could stick the little bird that we made. You could stick the little bird inside. Or you could stick, you know, we made the heart. You could stick the heart in the pocket. Do you see? Isn't that cool? You could stick Frugal. It's okay, I can be cheap. I don't mind Mary Kay. Look, you can stick the bird inside, you can stick the heart inside, and make an envelope for it and mail it. So, I mean, this is like, we made these out of cardboard. Remember we made them out of cardboard and book pages and then put some napkins on it? It's a little Christmas ornament. Right? So you could do it out of anything. You don't have to, like, be all... Right? Wouldn't you be thrilled if you got something really cool like this in the mail? So, I just wanted to give you guys some little ideas of what, you know, or you could put the angel wings. Remember we made the angel wings? I don't know if I'd finished them, but I went ahead and I finished the angel wings and I put the napkin on them. And so you could put that in your card. I mean, and then up here what I would do though, I would take a separate piece of book paper or whatever and then write your note up there and glue it on, because you would save it. Aren't the angel? Didn't the angel wings come out cute? I thought they did. And you guys, the pattern is in our Facebook group. So for those of you that feel like you can't draw anything, and it's just book pages over a piece of corrugated cardboard with a napkin, a little bit of a napkin afterwards. The same napkin. Remember I had that napkin. I used it for the cover of that junk journal. There's just pieces that I love that I have it. So you guys have no reason, like if you wanted to send your pen pals some happy mail, or the people in your crafting group some happy mail. So this was, remember I told you guys this story that I belonged to that secret sister group that I loved. You guys saw the package that I got. Well, this is the kind of card I made her. This was my trashy card that I made her. I made her a junk mail card. You know, I don't know if hers had a tree on it. I can't remember, but... So I'm going to work on a few more cards, but this was it. It was just torn. That was just torn from a book page. So anybody can do it. It's not rocket science. Now, let me just show you what I was going to, let me just show you some, what did I do with it? Do you guys ever like lose everything and you're sitting right there with it? That is so me. I lose everything and I'm sitting right here with it. I was thinking of making... This one I didn't totally paint. I might want to continue painting on it a little bit because you can still see the junk. You can still see the thing. I was thinking of making some Christmas balls. So I just took some of the painted papers that I had, serendipity papers that I was making, and I cut out a couple of with my circle punch. These are just magazine pages. I thought they were kind of cool. Like, if you wanted to make a... Let me see, what would look... Maybe that would look good on red. This would look good on red. Let's see. These are just magazine pages. Like, let me see if I can find the magazine page. Look, this was a Vogue magazine page of some lady's skirts. You would lose your head if it wasn't screwed on. I lose my stuff all the time. I lay it right in front of me and I'm looking all over. So I took my little circle punch and I cut out 3 gold pieces from her skirt. And then I was going to make some Christmas balls on this I don't know how I'm going to organize them. I haven't quite decided yet. So you guys could put your paper flowers on here. You don't have to, you don't have to do as many layers so it sticks up, but, you know, like these would be kind of cute as Christmas ornaments. Glue them down. I lose my stuff all the time, you guys. I'll have it right in front of me, and I'll get up to go do something, and I'll come back and it's missing, and I'm like, oh, it was just here. How could it be gone? You know, it's just, you guys, it's my life. It is the way it rolls. Some days that is just the way it rolls. Let's see. That is ridiculous, right? That I lose stuff right in front of my face. What did you guys write? I'm missing it. Your brother, Luana says her brother has a theory that the Minutemen come and rearrange your world when you're not looking. Hey, you know what? Some days I feel like, I feel like that. I really feel like I've lost my mind. Susan, are you and Bet still here? What are you girls doing? Did you fall asleep? Are you still here? I haven't seen your funny remarks. So these, I'm going to have to draw. Let me see if I can find a pencil. You guys, how do I come and sit down here and I craft here every single day and I have all my stuff and then I come and I sit down and I don't have it? Where does it go? I mean, honestly, I had a pen and a pencil. I was using it. Put 4 on that one. Put 4, one more down. You don't think it would look better if it just, because I'm going to draw the lines and then I was just going to write Merry Christmas. You think it needs 4? Let me cut up another one. You girls, it's ridiculous. You're still here? Have you been cutting up your lace, Bet? Yeah, the fairies come and take it. They totally come and take it. Oh my gosh, you guys. It's like ridiculous. Right? So if you I'm just putting this out there. How many of you guys send Christmas cards every year? How many of you actually send out Christmas cards? Hi, Kiala. Aloha. I just need a pencil though. See, I always like an odd number. Do you think it needs an even number? Or maybe I'll do it long ways. Maybe that's the way I'll do it. Maybe I'll do it long ways. How are you, Kayala? So just imagine if you started making your Christmas cards now. I mean, do they have to be perfect? Do you have to do a store-bought one, or can you venture? Can you even put your mind around doing a handmade one? Can you venture and put your mind around doing a handmade one? Well, sending out 150, that's quite a lot. Bet is cutting up every magazine she can find. Oh, well, Bet you could come to my house. I have tons. You could come and cut some up at my house. If you can put your mind around not having to have it be perfect, and just venture and make yourself some Christmas cards, it's really fun, and you'll get it down to a science. I mean, and if you have a die cutting machine, it does make it easier. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, you could cut out 50 things at once. Thanks, Carrie. I think I'm gonna do 3, but I think I'm gonna do it long ways instead of short ways. I think the short fat way didn't work for whatever I was doing, but it's okay. I just got to draw a straight line, and I can't draw a straight line, and I was looking to see if I had a ruler, and of course I got over here with no ruler, because that's just how I roll, you know me. I can't draw a straight line, and I don't have a ruler, and I do have a ruler, I just don't have one here. I was looking for a straight edge, though. All I'm saying is that if you can just imagine or wrap your head around, yes, allowing them not to be perfect. I don't know that I could do 150. But I'm just saying, okay, so Fiona, you're a perfectionist, and so you could do it. But how about instead of thinking that you had to do, everything perfect, you just do less. Find something simple. That's why I made this super simple little card. Really simple. Grace, you cheated and used an Anna Griffith kit. I like Anna Griffin. Please, I get so much, I don't know. I'm just over it. I used to really care what people thought about me, and now I don't. I guess that just comes with age, right? I'm just looking for something that's straight so I can draw a straight line. It doesn't have to be totally straight, but it needs to be kind of long. My box of paper clips, this one might work. I'm over it now. You know what I mean? I'm over it now. I used to really care what people thought about me. I used to really, really, really care. But now, I don't know. I guess it just comes with age or something. I don't care anymore. Is that terrible? I don't care anymore, and on top of it, I don't have the patience anymore. I don't have the patience anymore for people and things like that. I just don't. I mean, I used to. I used to have a lot of patience, but I don't have that anymore. I don't have that patience anymore that I guess you need for that you need. Now I know I have some metallic markers. I don't have a black one. How could I not have a black metallic marker? How could I have I have a gray one. I wonder if that'll show up. I have a green one. That one might not show up either. How could I not have a black metallic marker? I have a gold one. Perfect is an illusion. Perfect is an illusion. Yeah, I think you're right. It does come with age. I think you're absolutely right, Lynn. It does come with age. You know, when it comes with age, is like you get over it and you realize, you know what? You surround yourself with people that you care about, that care about you. Surround yourself with people that are kind to you, that are really kind to you. Because, I mean, we all have friends that aren't kind to us or have had them in the past. Maybe you don't have them anymore, but have had them in the past, right? And it's better to be happy and have people that you really care about around you than, I think, right? That's my 411, and what do I know? You know what? It's the sentiment of a card. Like, I stopped sending Christmas cards years ago when I felt like it was an obligation. You know? When my husband at the time, we had to send him out for his work or whatever, and finally I was over it. I was just like, you know what? I'm not sending him out anymore. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. So I stopped sending them out. And a few people sent me notes saying like, oh, we really missed your Christmas card. And I was like, yeah, I couldn't do it this year. Sorry. And then you know what? After that, I didn't do it anymore. Is that terrible or what? After that, I didn't want to do it anymore. After like the obligation of it all wore off. So I only send out cards like to people that I really love or to my elderly relatives because they really appreciate it. You know, like to my mom's sister and, you know, the aunts and uncles that I still have that are, you know, older. So I do appreciate it. By older, I mean like my aunt's in her 80s. So. And I send them, you know what I do is I do send them to my friends' kids. Have you guys ever done that? Instead of sending your cards to, what of it? Fiona says she learned 17 years ago that perfectionism binds you, whereas excellence is freeing. Oh, that's very nice, Fiona. So what I do is like now I send cards to my friends who have small children. Like I send it to their children. I don't even send it to them. Is that funny? Because you know when you were little and you got mail, how great you thought that was? I sent it to one of my girlfriends last year, or her son. And she was like, I have to tell you. And I only addressed it to him. And then I sent like, I don't know, all kinds of like kid stuff inside of it. I sent like, I don't know. I sent all kinds of fun things in it, like stickers and stuff like that in this card. And I handmade the Christmas card and I sent to him. And then he wrote me a letter back. Do you love that? He wrote me a letter back. And I was happy and she was like, Shelley, you have no idea. She says, we get tons of Christmas cards. She goes, yours by far was his favorite. And he hung it on the door and whatever. And I said, well, I'm glad. I mean, that wasn't why I did it. I did it because I usually send them a Christmas card. And I was just like, I just couldn't do it. I was like over it. I was over it. What is the Dollar Tree has what? Yeah, but think about this. It also costs like 50 cents to send a card now. So if you're sending out hundreds of cards to people that maybe aren't even people that you care about, really, you're just doing it out of an obligation. Then, okay, so here's card 1 and here's card 2. Now this one still has a pocket inside and I could still stick an ornament in it. I could still stick one of my ornaments, you know, inside of it. You know, I could still stick my ornament inside of it. And I could still write my little sentiment. I could still stick my ornament in. And I could write my sentiment on the inside. And then I could write on the back, handmade. So, What did you say? It's so cool the way I did what? I don't know what I did that you thought was cool. I missed it. It went by too fast. Um, this is probably going to cost a little extra to mail because it has a thick Christmas ornament in it. But if you did them thinner than this, I mean, I sent the ones that's the little birds are thin. Hi, Pam. You're not late. We're happy you're here. You're never late. So this is Christmas card 1, Christmas card 2. Oh, I was going to show you cheater Christmas card, a cheater drawing, okay? So I cut those out of magazines, so now you know, that you can cut out your things. Yeah, it does look like elegant ornaments. You're right, Luana. With my little... And then you can write Merry Christmas if that's what you want to write. Or you can even, if you don't want to send an ornament, put one of your Christmas letters in here. You're not late. How are you? Super, tell us your first name. Pan. Yeah, Super Dimple 666. Tell us your first name. Okay, I'm going to show you how to make the envelope. And then we can go back to doing cheater Christmas cards. Okay? Because I want to make some, I'll show you how to make an envelope, and it's so easy. Alright? But it's the same way we've made them before, so it's like not anything new, but I'll show you how to do it and measure it for the cards that you made. Let me just move my junk mail card bases out of the way, and I'll come back to them in a few minutes. Okay, so let's just make some envelopes for these two cards. So let's just say I'm going to put the angel wings inside of this one. And the reason why, if you're going to make these cards and put stuff inside of them and you're going to make your envelopes, you want to make sure you have your stuff inside of them when you're making the envelope. Okay? That's the only thing. Let me see. I think I brought a brown paper bag over here with me. Oh, sorry, you guys. I knocked my light. Hey, Pep. The dog came back in. She hasn't barked because she's been outside with the kids and she's happy. Okay, so I brought a brown paper bag over here. Hang on, I gotta tear it up so that I can have a piece of it. Okay. Now you guys can make your envelopes out of paper. You don't have to make them out of brown paper bags. It's just what I have. Okay, it's just what I have here. It's 3:15. Because you're in England. Where are you that it's 3:15? Are you in London? Is that where it's so? You need it for Noni's grandma? Yeah, for those of you that haven't made your card yet, it's not too late. You can send her a card, even if you don't send it, but if you want to send her a card. Even if you don't send it by our August 5th date. The August 5th is just for, to enter into the raffle, okay? Enter into our giveaway. Alright, so here we go. So this is a piece of a brown paper bag. You can use a piece of paper too. You don't have to have a piece of brown paper bag, but that's just what I have. So you want to measure your card. You want to make sure that we got glue and everything everywhere. Let me cut this in half. This is too big of a piece anyway. Now you could do this with a magazine page as well. I'm just saying if you were going to send a Christmas card and maybe you don't want to put it in a magazine page. Okay, you need to make sure that your paper covers the card. So you wanna measure it. I guess I could put it this way, so that's fine. I'm gonna put it this way. Just make sure and then you want to leave maybe, I don't know, 1/4 of an inch. Okay, so here's where the card is. And it's wrapped around it like 1/4 of an inch. You just want to leave a little extra on this side, okay? And you don't have to cut it perfect, you guys, all right? Mine's not cut perfect. I could probably go back and shore it up and cut it better, but here, hold on, let me just. You can do this with any card. So anything really. So, all right. So you have that. So then the next thing you want to do is you want to fold up the bottom a little bit. Now I'm going to fold this one up. Let me see, is it even straight? Yeah, I guess it's straighter than the top. I'm going to fold it up about, I don't know, half an inch. That's actually a lot, but because the card's thick, I'm going to do it half an inch. Maybe I should do a little bit more than that. Because the card has stuff in it, okay? So now what you have is the bottom part folded up a half an inch, and then put your card in. Let's see. Put your card in, and you want to just cover the top part of the card part just by maybe a little bit, maybe a quarter of an inch, and you want to fold over this part. Okay, so I'm going to undo it again so you can see. Ready? The bottom's folded up about 3/4, I guess it's 3/4 of an inch. I don't have a tape measure. I'm eyeballing it. And then I put my card inside, and I have wrapped over my card just the same way you would a present, right? Bringing it over the present just a little bit. Can you see it's like maybe a quarter of an inch over the card? And then folding this piece back over. All right. I'm going to push it down to the, all right, so your bottom part is folded up. Okay. Now you want to take your top part and you want to fold it down. Now I don't make it super snug at the top. I leave just a little bit because this one's a fatter card. All right. Now open it back up, and then here's what we have. We have our 3/4 of an inch folded at the bottom. Now you can make this more or less, but this card has something in it. That's why I made it more. Same size piece on the top, and then we fold it down to make the flap. So this is your paper. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to cut off some, and I'm going to show you, I'll mark what we're going to cut off. We're going to cut off this part here, and you'll see where to cut it off because of where you've scored it. We're going to cut off that part. We're going to cut off this part. We're going to cut off this part. And we're going to cut off this part. Okay? Can you guys see it? You're following so far? Okay. So cut off those parts. That's what you're going to do first. You can do this with a plain piece of paper too, you guys. You don't have to use a brown bag. Lurkers, whoever's out there, say hi. Say hi, lurkers. You can do some trimming at the end too, so don't think it has to be totally perfect at this point, because it doesn't. If you guys go back and watch, I've made this envelope I don't know how many times in a bunch of videos. Okay, so it's not like it's a new thing, because it isn't. I may have to trim off a few more pieces. I don't know, because the bag has a little bit more fold in it than I think I need. Okay. Now you want to have your card while you're making these. I wouldn't make them without your card unless the cards are going to be the same as all your other cards. Do you know what I mean? Okay, I have some more trimming to do. I did actually draw the lines right. Trim the top, trim the bottom. Alright, let me do it again. Now it's just the gluing part, okay? So then you take your card out because you don't want to put your card in it while you're gluing it. And you are going to just glue this part, and I'm going to use a glue stick. Lynn, how is your business going? Is it going good? I hope so. Okay, and you're just going to go ahead and glue that, the top over to the side flap. The side flap's on the inside. You could leave it on the outside if you wanted. It doesn't really matter that much. Now you have to decide whether you want to go ahead and glue your thing straight up at the bottom or if you want to round it. You know, if you want to round your corners. If you have a corner rounder, that works good too. You don't have to round your corners. You can. Hi, Sherry. Oh no. Did your surgery go well, I hope? I hope it did. Bye, Fiona. Hugs to you, Fiona. I hope you feel better. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you were hanging out with us. I'm so glad you're hanging out with us. Susan, are you making envelopes? Okay, you want to glue this. You want to bring the bottom part up. The little... Now, I'm going to put my card back in here so that I can decide how much of a lip I want on the top. Okay? How much of a flap down I want. I need to glue that a little more. My gluing is a little off today. My glue sticking is off. Good night. Sweet dreams to you. 3:30 in the morning. Brave girl. Now, you know what? You want to decide how much of a flap you want to leave down. You know, if you're going to put this in the post, you know, leave as much as you want. If you want to use some washi tape, sometimes when I make these out of, especially if I make them out of brown paper bags, what I'll do is I'll go back and, where I've closed it here, maybe I'll put a piece of washi tape so they can see where to open it, because you're going to glue it down. Or, oh, I'm so happy. Susan says she doesn't craft, she just buys craft supplies. Oh my God. Night, Jennifer. So, do you see? So you can decide. You know, you can make it smaller or longer. And now I made the bottom of this envelope a little bigger than I normally would, but it's not thin. It's got something in it, you know? But do you see? Now that's how you make an envelope for anything. You can make it for anything. You can make it for any card that you ever make. Ooh, have fun, Mary Kay. I wish I was going to a community garage sale. Sounds like that would be so fun. I hope you sell it all, Mary. Carrie, it is so easy to make. And you can make it out of something other than a brown paper bag. That's just all I had that was right here. You know, if you want to make it out of a piece of paper, you do it the same way. The only reason why I say measure it is because, like, this card has, you know, that little ornament in it, right? But wouldn't you think that's a sweet card to get? Now, look, the other thing is, look, isn't this exciting? If you don't want to put an ornament in there, look, your gift card. Your Home Depot gift, whatever gift card you're going to give your niece or your nephew or whoever, you've made the card and you didn't spend a penny. That's the one thing that drives me crazy. I have to say, out of all the things that I do buy in this world, is I buy a gift card, right? Obviously, I'm using mine for paint. I buy a gift card, and then I have to spend $5 on, or whatever a card costs. You think it's brilliant, Ann? Thanks. It is expensive to live here in Hawaii, Valerie. It is. It's very expensive. You know firsthand. So, I mean, I want to spend, so if I'm going to spend $25 on a gift card, I don't want to spend an extra $5 on the card. So I made this one, and okay, yes, it cost me my time, but my junk mail was free. My magazines I got from the recycling. I had bought the paint. I had the paint in my craft stash, and you know, a pen, and then made my card, right? But I make all my cards, you guys, and not just my Christmas cards. So that's just one. That's just one idea for your Christmas card. If you want to make a Christmas card. Now, if you just want to make a regular, like, hey, how are you card, you can do that too. I wanted to show you guys how my serendipity paper embellishments came out. And I put little loops on them. Remember we did them? We made that serendipity paper, and somebody was asking me, like, what do you do with it? Like, what do you do with the serendipity paper? Well, I made these little, I think I'm going to make them into journaling charms, but you could also make them into Christmas ornaments. Right? I think they came out good. I liked them. You know, it's fun to find new ways to be creative with what you have right in front of you instead of having to feel like you have to go out and buy something. Right? So say you made a couple of these little ornaments or journaling charms or whatever you want to call them, or put them on paper clips, and you put them in, or little birds, and you put them in your little handmade card, and you put them in the mail. When somebody opens it and gets it and it's handmade from you, I think it means like so much more. That's just my thought though, okay? That is just my thought. And then here's the tiny hearts that we made. I haven't put anything on them yet. I was thinking about I was going to look for my other magazine page, my other napkins, but I haven't. Now, and I mailed my little flower wreaths in the same card. Like this one I made out of I think this flower wreath was made out of obviously, remember my obsession with stovetop stuffing. So a stovetop stuffing box, and I think this is out of a Walmart flyer. The flowers are out of a Walmart flyer. So I don't know. You guys have you guys get my 411. You get it. You get it. You get it. So tell me what you girls have been working on. I want to hear what you've been working on. Remember I made one out of receipts? I don't know where I put that one. That one's, when I cleaned off my desk, I moved it. But you can mail the same thing. Mail the little wreath in there. You Mod Podge yours. What did you Mod Podge, Lisa? The pocket? Yeah, you can Mod Podge it. Yep. I do have a video on using these junk mail pieces as a pocket for your as a pocket too. But since we're focusing on cards, that's just two designs. Now let me show you how to cheat and draw one. Okay, let me clean my mess off for a second, and I'll show you. For those of you that want to draw something, okay. So, you know how you get tissue paper in your Christmas packages, or in your plain tissue paper in your junk mail? Now, go on and Google clip art, black and white. Oh, you Mod Podge your serendipity paper to use it as pockets? Awesome! I bet it's gorgeous. So this is just a regular ballpoint pen. Okay, you could use a micron marker, you could use any type of marker. This is for those of you that think you can't draw. Okay? Lay your tissue paper over your whatever you're going to draw. You could get a children's coloring book and do it, you guys. It doesn't have to be. No, I always get these comments of like, I can't draw, I can't do this, I can't do that. I'm like, figure it out. It's not, not everything that you see out there is like completely freehand done. Now, you can also print on, tissue paper. If you have to, you spray adhesive it down to a piece of wax paper or iron it to a piece of wax paper, and you can run it through a printer. But do you get the idea? I'm just showing you. Do you get the idea? And if you could go back and paint this, and then if you glue it on or Mod Podge it onto your card, you'll have that image. Obviously, you don't have to do yours with a ballpoint pen like me. You could use a permanent. I like using those micron markers. Those little, but you do need a permanent marker or a permanent pen, because if you put Mod Podge over it and it's not permanent, it'll run. Okay, but you can do the same thing. Do you see? And then when you Mod Podge it on your card, the tissue paper disappears. Remember, like the one I showed you? My big old mess here. Like the tissue paper I showed you here. That's just, can you see the tissue paper? You can barely see it if you look close. So Diana's saying on Pinterest, there are thousands of black and white vectors, clip art. So go on there and find what you like. So I'm just saying, or use your stamps, but you have to use a permanent marker. You have to use a permanent marker if you're going to use your stamps. I mean, a permanent stamp ink. You know what I mean? Like, don't use distress ink because it's not permanent, but use, you could use a spirograph. You could totally use a spirograph. Totally, absolutely use a spirograph. I agree with you 100%. Absolutely, positively. So, has this given you guys ideas on how to make your Christmas cards? Now look, this one I made just like this because I was making it for a friend that does journaling, right? And then I was gonna stick, I don't remember, tea bags I think inside of here. Tea bags inside of the card, and then mail it. So you can make those library pockets and put them inside the cards. This one's just a jelly printed library pocket. And then, can you see it's like a book page? It's an old book. I didn't realize, has my thing been out of focus this whole time, you guys? I didn't notice. Let's see. You guys, I have not mastered this whole focusing thing, autofocus thing. With that, I can't get it to do it where it won't jump. Yeah, stays on ink works really good. Right? Christmas tea? Isn't that a good idea? It is a good idea to send your friends tea. My favorite tea, one of the teas I love more than anything is peppermint tea, and you cannot get that here. It's like seasonal. So I buy like as many boxes when it comes out as possible. Isn't that ridiculous? I've been in focus. Okay. It just showed, it looked like it wasn't focused on my side, so I was like, seriously? I mean, I took off the autofocus so that it won't jump. I have not mastered this. So you guys, these are so easy. How many of you guys have children or grandkids? Can you imagine sitting down with them and letting them draw on tissue paper or draw on things that you're going to then glue on top of the card that you're going to send out, right? And it costs you zero. I mean, literally nothing. It costs you your junk mail, your paint, glue. Paint and glue is what it costs you. Paint and glue. Paint and glue, and then, find cool bits and pieces of magazines to make your thing. What did you say, Bet? I missed what you said. Hi, Dawn. I do want that Christmas stamp though, the one that you bought at Hobby Lobby. I don't know which Dawn is it. Is it which Dawn is here? Is it Dawn Holmes? Hi, Dawn. Yes, Dawn. I want that Christmas stamp, that Santa Claus stamp you got from Hobby Lobby. I want it. Luana, you know what I would do with your grandson if I were you? Is do you ever get to babysit by yourself with nobody here? What I did for my sister, and then of course I did it with my own kids, but when my sister had kids before I did, and so what I did was I took her kids and I stamped their hands. I put acrylic paint on their hands, and I stamped their hands and made her Christmas tree ornaments, and she still hangs them on her tree to this year, and they're now like much older, like late 20s. I don't have a Hobby Lobby, Dawn. There is no Hobby Lobby. Okay, okay, D. There's no Hobby Lobby, but I definitely loved your Hobby Lobby, the Christmas cards. Now, if you guys go to Dawn's channel, you can see some beautiful Christmas in July stuff she created. Yeah, but wouldn't it be cool if you did that for a Christmas ornament, though? You could do it on paper just like this, trace around it, Mod Podge it onto some cardboard, just the same way we made these, and then put his birth date and month or whatever on the back of it, and put him on put him on your tree. Now, if you guys want to see some fabulous professional-looking cards, not made of junk, go to Dawn's channel and see her cool stuff that she makes. She has made some super, super, super cool stuff. Super cool. Well, I hope that gives you guys some ideas on what you can create and what you guys, you could do other versions of a Christmas tree. Like, were you a kid? Did you do this version of a Christmas tree? I was drawing one earlier. Oh, where did I draw it on? You guys have book pages, and I've been making lots of painted papers. I've been making painted papers. I've been making, I don't know. I have like all this stuff that I want to do. I have like a list. My crafty wish list is a little longer. Well, here, make a Christmas tree like this. If you don't like this, you could even draw it on with a marker. Now let's make one, and anybody can do this. This is nothing, right? So you just draw a straight line straight down. Didn't you do these when you were a kid, and then you start up at the top, and then you go to the next one, and then you go to the next one, and then the next one, and then you put like a little star on the top. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like that. You could draw those on your cards. Nothing like a doodle heart. Like a doodle tree. They don't have to be like perfect. They can be like fun and whimsical. Do them with a paint pen. Mine's just magazine pages, book pages, then drawing things. I figure, what, I'm making the ornaments that go inside. You can... Thanks, Ash. Yes, so you don't have to go spend a lot of money if you don't have it. And especially if all of you girls are in swaps and stuff like that, and other Facebook groups and stuff, and you want to add like a card or something to your swap, it's a primitive tree. They're all primitive. This was just me using book pages because I just want to show you, so many times people say, I can't art, I don't have it, I don't know what I'm doing, I can't do this, I can't do that. You know what I mean? Good save, Cassandra. Oh my God, you guys will never offend me. You will never offend me. Okay? Look, it's just simple, easy. I promised you guys we'd make them out of junk mail, but you don't have to. It doesn't have to be Christmas cards. Think of like the paper flowers. Like if you made one of these cards, and I don't know if I have a blank that's already not painted red or blue or whatever, but if you made one of these cards and you wanted to like put one of these on the front, you know, or use your serendipity paper, you know, and add, you know, add that to the front of your card. It can be anything. Susan, I'm going to send you a frilly tree. I am totally going to send you a frilly tree. You make me laugh. So now you'll see another reason to save your junk mail postcards, right, Carrie? Oh my gosh, you guys. I love you guys. See, you guys are here on my you guys are on my crafty recycling journey. Carrie, we're happy that you're here with us. And I'm so happy you guys are all sharing all your stuff. AARP magazines rock, Luana. I have to agree. I agree with you. Okay, Anne's favorite quote her favorite quote is, "Never say I can't, is a limit, and life is about breaking through limits. Say I will instead." I love that, Anne. Most colorful side up? I don't know. It's just that serendipity paper. Some of you guys made some of the most fabulous serendipity paper. I have to tell you, I was so impressed by the serendipity paper that you guys made. It was awesome. Oh, I'm glad, Lynn. I love what you guys are posting. I love that you guys are just going for it and you're posting some cool stuff, and I love the fact that you guys are all being so complimentary and nice to each other. You know, I used to was in charge of a big company, and I used to spend my day like saying, they are serendipity queens. Susan, I agree with you. I used to spend my day saying, if you can't say something nice, don't say anything. And then, you find that you join a crafting group on Facebook, and people become like their alter ego not nice on there too. And I'm like, I'm not having it, I'm not having it. I am so not having it. So Tuesday, we're going to definitely bind our Shabby Chic journal. Hi, Rosemary. Carrie, you're right. The only way to have friends is to be one. I agree with it. No, you're not late to the party, Rosemary. We made junk mail cards. We just made junk mail Christmas cards. Junk mail cards. But I have to say, I love how your serendipity paper is coming out. I love the fact that you guys are all sharing what you're good at and things, and they don't have to be what everybody else is. Like, did you see the miniatures? Hi, Marcy. Did you see the miniatures that somebody made? Those are gorgeous. Those little miniature candelabras and stuff, that's amazing. And, all the cool stuff. Everybody, the knitting and the sewing and all the journaling and all of that. And I love that you guys are sharing it. And I love you guys are supporting each other. Hi, Kat. And thanks for saying that, Kat. No drama. No, please, no drama. I'm too old for it. I just can't handle it. The dollhouse lamps were rocking. I mean, I loved everything you guys did. Did you see the quilt that somebody made from the grandfather's pants? I loved it. And Rosemary, your journals are awesome. And I'm happy you're posting them. guys are hilarious, I swear. I loved the lamps. I loved all of it. It's a beautiful quilt. My desk looks great. Guys, my desk is the biggest mess. It is horrible. It's like the tiniest space. I don't even know. I can't even. It's a vintage card table, okay? And on it is a lamp, a big fat lamp, and my laptop, and all of this, and paint and supplies, and my Rambo knife is somewhere here. Where's my Rambo knife? It's got to be here. I loved Tina's altered tiles. I agree with you. I did. I've loved, and the purses, those were great too. And the jewelry, I loved. First of all, what I loved is that everyone is just sharing what they love. And it's not about, is mine better than yours? Is it good enough? And I loved that. I loved it. I love that you guys are just bold and sharing. And you're sharing your process. It doesn't even have to be finished. It doesn't have to be a finished project, you know? It doesn't have to. And I'm grateful for that. I'm really grateful. So what did I make this week? I made a bunch of, I made a bunch of serendipity paper. I did, because I cleaned off my desk and I was still gluing. And I made some lots of painted paper pages, because I was trying to get rid of some books that I had here. I did some pitty pat, some jelly printing. It's really inspiring to see all the cool stuff you guys are doing. I'm like in it. Now I wanted to show you, like, I saved some of these magazine pages because I thought maybe you guys might want to think about those. I don't know where I put those paper clip embellishments. I was going to show you too, because I finished them all and I wanted to show them, but I don't. You guys, I cleaned off my desk and I put them in a bag, and the bag, I guess I put the bag somewhere. But what I wanted to show you was, these would be the same type of paper clip embellishments if you went through and you punched the cool colors and patterns from fashion magazines. You know, you went and you punched it. I mean, that would be a cool one, you know. And so just be on the lookout. I know a lot of you guys harvest your magazines for different things, but you know, like, I'm still in love with this little black and white, that little piece that I found. I'm in love with that. So you guys go through and punch, you know, when you're harvesting your magazines, before you let them go, punch out, if you have a punch, or, you know, whatever you have. If you have a die cutting machine, take it to that, but start punching them out. And we'll do a whole bunch more paper clip embellishments made with magazine pages and patterns. But they look really cute in your journals once you get your either fingernail polish or diamond glaze or whatever you're putting over them, right? So I just saved. I had a couple of magazines and pages I was going to show you guys that I had said, oh, I'm going to show them that. I saved it. It was like, they're just sort of neat, cool, neat, like this. Like, wouldn't that be a great embellishment? Bye, Lisa. Maybe I'll see you on Tuesday. Good night, Edna. I agree with you, Grace. I like the climate you guys provide too. It's good. Bye, Valerie. Hey, I get that, sister. Go get them to help you. So just be on the lookout when you're harvesting your magazines for things that you could possibly, like, I know you're not thinking about, oh, I'm going to make some paper clip embellishments, but get your punches out or your die cutting machine, and, you know, before you just say, no, I'm not going to, oh, good, Edna, see you Tuesday. Yes, by hand is fine too, Carrie. By hand is perfect. There's no, but I'm just showing you, like you think about it and you go, oh, that's too busy. It's not good for a journaling page. But if you went to this part right here and you cut and you And you punched out just a little circle from it. You know, it's, believe it or not, I did get some foil and I did sharpen this punch. But see, they would make really cute little, they would make cute embellishments. So I'm just saying, be on the lookout. Instead of like, I know we harvest for different reasons and everybody harvests different things, but all of those kind of wild colors and like a piece of that, a piece of this, even her blonde hair, the eyes would make a really cool paperclip embellishment. You know, any of the bright colors, at least I think. That's just what I think. That is what I think, girls. It was a joke. I think it was I think it was a joke, Ash. Because we're enjoying your artwork. Marcy, I would love to see a flip through of your whole art journal. I would love to see a flip through of that. I think everybody would. We're all very impressed by your art journaling style and dedication. Luana, I think I am busy patterned. I don't know what's wrong with me, but I like it. You're perfect, Ash. You're not gullible. You're just perfect. Yes, Marcy, we enjoy seeing your art journaling pages. They're awesome. They're really, really, really nice. And for those of you that haven't joined our Facebook group, go on over Crafting Moments on Facebook. And, you know, we all enjoy seeing what you post. Post your stuff in progress. It doesn't even have to be finished. It's just really nice to see all the diversity of things that everybody's posting and what you guys are doing. That's what I think. I'm really enjoying all of it. So Tuesday we're going to work on our Shabby Chic journal. We're going to bind it. I've made a bunch of pockets for mine. I made some more flowers for it. I don't know what did you see the beautiful things that Michelle posted on our Facebook group as images to use? If you guys wanted to print those out, you can use those as well. She gave them freely to all of us. But it's not for resale, so if anybody wants to use them, print them out for your own personal use. You know, you can't print them out and sell the images. You told your husband you're having an affair with cardboard. Oh my gosh. You know, I'm addicted to it too. It's one of my favorite go-to supplies. You made the library pockets last night. Aren't they fun, Marcy? They're so addictive. It's so ridiculous how addictive they are. Oh, Luana, I'm sorry. Please, I'm not the technology queen. I go through all of the same thing you're talking about. I go through it all. Hi, Jennifer. Hi, Jennifer. We're happy you're here. So Tuesday we'll do Shabby Chic Journal, and then I think we'll make some more embellishments, and we'll finish that Friday. I don't know if I can do it this Friday. If not, we'll do it the following Friday. Friday, I don't know. I want to do our big project, but I won't know if I'll be able to until next week. So I'll post what we're going to do on Friday. It'll still be like the Christmas and July theme. Even though July will be over, it will be like the Christmas theme, holiday gifts or gift giving, or then after we finish our Shabby Chic journal, Luana, I think, I don't know. I'm going to have to let you know over the weekend. It just depends upon if I'm going to have workmen in my house on Friday all week. I won't be able to do it on Friday. I'll be able to do the live stream, but I won't be able to do our big project on Friday if I'm going to have workmen in my house all week, but I won't know. Yes, we're going to do a Meander book. We could start our Meander book, totally. We could start our Meander book. I also want to show you guys how to make seed bead snowflakes, which are really fun and very, very, very easy. They're very easy seed bead snowflakes. So if maybe we can do that on Friday because it's really easy. You just need some wire and seed beads. Yes, we are going to carve in styrofoam. We're going to make our own stamps in styrofoam. Yes. We could do that on Tuesday. If you guys come on Tuesday. A Meander book is one of those books that gets like an anyway book. An every which way book, it opens up a bunch of different ways. Seed bead snowflakes are really fun, Dawn, and they're like great little Christmas ornaments. You can make them any size. You can hang them in your window. You can make a mobile out of them. You could even make them into a piece of jewelry if you wanted to. And you can put them in your little handmade, homemade Christmas cards as well. You can put them in that one. Yeah, you just need some wire, and it needs to be thin, like I think 28 gauge. You want to make sure whatever wire you get, you want to make sure your seed beads go through it. And you want to get like a variety of seed beads, like bugle beads and regular seed beads. And you can make them you can do them in any color. I'll try to do them in a bright color so you guys can see them as I work, but you can probably do them in a monochromatic. I usually make mine I've made them out of every color, but I would say the majority of the ones I've made as gifts I've made in like clear, silver, off-white, gold, metallic colors, but I'll try to do mine in loud colored seed beads just for demonstration purposes. Okay? Yeah, we're going to definitely do a Meander book. We're definitely going to do a Meander book. Clear and gold seed beads are perfect. Clear and gold seed beads are perfect. You just want some various size seed beads because you want to, and if you can get some longer bugle beads, that's also good too. Then you can have a variety of snowflake styles. So let's plan on making our snowflakes on Friday. That'll be easy, and then we'll make our big project the following week. And Tuesday we'll finish our Shabby Chic journal, and maybe we can start our Meander book on Tuesday. For those that want to start a Meander book, we'll bind our Shabby Chic journal, and then for those that want to start a Meander book, we can do it on Friday. And you just need I think you need a piece of 12 by 12 cardstock. You could make it with anything, but let's just try to make it all together with a piece of 12 by 12 cardstock. A Meander book is a book that opens a bunch of different ways. I don't have one in front of me, but it's like sort of like a Jacob's Ladder book, except it doesn't open straight. It opens every which way. Okay? So we'll start our Meander book on Tuesday. We'll make our snowflakes on Friday. We'll also do our Shabby Chic journal, bind our Shabby Chic journal on Tuesday. So for those of you that have never bound a journal, come on Tuesday and you can learn how. It's not hard. So to do your journal binding, I use a darning needle. If you have a book cradle, great. I use a phone book. It's an old phone book. If you don't have an old phone book, any old book will do. Am I writing all this down? No, I'm not writing it down, but I'll remember. Because I already have the stuff for the snowflakes right here. I have my journal staring at me in the face, and the Meander book. Just need a piece of 12 by 12 paper. You just need a piece of 12 by 12 paper to make the book. But then to decorate the book, you need, we could decorate it. Good night, Lynn. To decorate it, you can use anything. We can collage in it. You can collage in it. Yes, for your journal binding, you need a darning needle. I use a darning needle. I use embroidery floss, but if you have wax linen thread, that works good. An awl or a pokey tool. I use my darning needle, but if you want to use an awl, you can. And something to poke into. Like, You know, a book cradle it looks like this, right? And you would put your page in it and poke your papers in it that way. I use a phone book. So, you know, anything. It's not, and that's all. That is all. You know what? I will put a list when we get off of here. I will put a list for Tuesdays. Um, list for your Shabby Chic journal binding and for starting our Meander book, and then I'll put a list up again for Friday's wire snowflakes. You know, so you need like 28 gauge wire or whatever wire will go through your seed beads. If your seed beads, if 26 gauge will go in through your seed beads, get that. And then you need maybe 2 or 3 different kinds of seed beads, size seed beads. They can be the same color. It doesn't really matter. I'll make a list. It's not that much. It's not that much. So you can get a package of seed beads. How much are seed beads at a big box store, you guys? You can get them for relatively inexpensive, right? Wire. You just want to make sure that the beads go through your wire. Oh, good. Ash said you just put some links about a Meander book in our group. You know what's fun about a Meander book is you can actually use that Meander book as, you could write a story. You could do a stream of consciousness in it. You could do poetry in it. You never know which way it's going to open up. So we could do one where you just put one word on every page and you read it and it turned. Or you can do them as like little scrapbooks. You could do them as it's sort of like a Rubik's Cube, Dawn, except it's a book. You keep opening it up and it opens up. You guys, look at my hands, are terrible. It's like I was jelly printing and I was doing those inks, you know, my favorite spray inks, and my fingernails are dyed underneath it. I can't even get it out. I went to the store and the lady probably thought that I had like some sort of weird thing going on. I can't even get the spray inks out of my fingers. It's so terrible. All right, my lovelies, everybody take a deep breath in and exhale. And one more time. And from my heart to your heart, I am sending you all so much aloha. Thank you guys for being here, for crafting along with me, for sharing my journey, being my crafty peeps. Thank you for being so kind to each other in our Facebook group. And for those of you that haven't joined, please jump on over and join Crafting Mamas on Facebook. All right, love you ladies. Go have a wonderful night. Bye, ladies. Have a great weekend. Take care. Aloha.